Good afternoon, everyone. In this video, we're going to show you how to factor polynomials by factoring out the GCF. And remember, the GCF stands for the greatest common factor, and that means what is the largest number that will divide into any number, in this case 2, 10, and 8 evenly. So in the other video, I showed you how to find the GCF. So in this video, we're going to assume that you know the GCF, so we can show you strictly how to factor it out. Okay, so again, this is a trinomial. It has 3 terms, and we want to look at the coefficients. The coefficients 2, 10, and 8 is what we want to look at, and we want to find the largest number that goes into 2, 10, and 8. Okay, so when you think about this, all right, remember in the previous video, I showed you how to do that. Okay, so if you have 10, and then if you have 2, 10, and 8, and you want to find the greatest common factor, you start dividing those numbers by something evenly, and the only number that would work is going to be 2. So 2 goes into 2 once, 2 goes into 10 5 times, and 2 into 8 is 4. And then there aren't any numbers that go into 1, 5, and 4 evenly except 1. So we stop, okay? And 2 is going to be my GCF. All right? So let me write that a little bit neater. Okay, so we are going to factor out a 2. Okay? And as far as the variables, all the variables are different, so there's nothing in common to factor out of that. Okay, so they're just going to stay inside the parentheses. So the x squared gets left behind when I take out the 2. And then you say, okay, well, 2 times what gives me 10? Well, it has to be 5y cubed. Okay, so when you distribute back, you got to get the original polynomial back. So 2 times 5 is the only way to get 10. And then 2 times 4 gives me the 8 back. And then just attach the z to the 5th power. You notice I'm not messing with the variables with the exponents because there's nothing in common to factor out. Okay, so my answer is going to be that. This is my solution for that. Okay? All right, so that was the first one. Let's look at another example. 24 m to the 6th power n to the 5th power plus 15 m squared n cubed. All right, so again, we found the GCF. We're going to find the GCF between 24 and 15. So again, that's going to be 3. Okay, so when we factor that 3 out, that goes there. Okay, and remember, how did I find the GCF of 3? Well, I have to divide both of these numbers by a number that goes into it evenly, and 3 would be the only one. 3 goes into 24 8 times, 3 goes into 15 5 times. And there are no other numbers that go into both of those evenly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop. And this is going to be my GCF. Okay? All right. And then when it comes to exponents, you just look at each variable and you choose the lowest exponent for each variable separately. So you look at the m6 and the m squared. The m squared is going to be factored out. And then you look at the next variable, which is n. So n to the 5th and n third. Well, n third is the lowest one, so we factor out. So let me just circle these. And those are the ones that I factored out. The lowest exponent. Okay? And then now we should have something remaining, right? Well, 3 times what is 24? Well, it has to be 8. And if you have m to the 6th power and you take out 2 m's, then you should have m to the 4th power left. Okay, you had 6 m's, now we factored 2 out, so you have n4. If you have n to the 5th power and you take out n third, then you should have n squared remaining. Okay, now 3 times what is 15? Well, that has to be 5. And you notice that the n squared is out and the n cubed is out, so there's no variables here. Okay, and that would be the problem that's factored. That's the only thing you can do with that. So we're factoring GCFs out. Okay, all right. So let's do another one. All right, so we have 7a b squared c to the 5th minus 28a squared b c to the 4th power plus 49 ab c cubed. So what we want to do is we want to find the 7, 28, and the 49, right? So we're going to have to do that. And if we do that over here, 7, 28, and 49, and if you can think of a number that goes into these three, I can think of 7. 7 goes into 7 once, 7 goes into 28 4 times, and 7 goes into 49 7 times. Okay? And there are no more numbers that go into 1 and 4 and 7 evenly, so I'm going to stop. And then this is going to be my GCF. So 7 needs to be factored out. And then I look at each variable separately, and I want to choose the one with the lowest exponent. Okay, so I have a, and that's really a to the 1st power, a squared, and an a again over here. Okay, so it looks like I'm going to take out a, all right, because a is the lowest one. Okay, then I look at the b variable, so I got b squared. Okay, so let me underline it here. So what I did is here's the a, so I took out the a, that's the lowest one. Okay, then I look at the b coefficient, the b variable. I have b squared, then I have b, okay, and I have b again, so I'm going to take out b. So b needs to come out. Since they're both to the 1st power, just take it out, okay? And then you look at the last variable, c, and you see which one has the smallest exponent. Well, c5, c to the 4th, and c cubed. It looks like c cubed is going to win. So we're going to take this out, take c cubed out. And then when you do, you're going to get the remaining stuff that's left behind. So in the first term, we took out the 7, we took out the a, and then we took out one of the b's. So this is going to get reduced to b to the 1st power. We had c to the 5th, so we took out 3 of those c's, so we're going to have c squared remaining. And then there's the minus sign. And then 7 times what is 28? Well, that has to be 4. All right, there is a squared in the middle term. We took out one of the a's, so one of the a's stays. We have c4. We took out 3 of them. C cubed is 3 of them, so then we just have c to the 1st power left. And then this plus 7 times what is 49? Well, that has to be 7. And then we took out the a, we took out the b, and we took out the c cubed. So let me go ahead and just make that like that. And that is your remaining polynomial that's left behind. Okay. So this will take a little practice to get used to. All right. Once you do enough of them, you will get them. You have to be really confident in finding the greatest common factor. That's the whole part of it. Again, numerically, you can do the method that I showed you, or another method that you may know. All right, and when it comes to exponents, just take out the lowest exponent for each variable individually, pull them out, and that'll be your GCF. And then whatever is remaining is just the polynomial that's left behind in the parentheses. All right? So if I take 7ab to the c to the third power and I distribute across everything in the parentheses, I'll get my original polynomial back. And that's how you can test to see if you got the right GCF. Okay? All right, I hope this video was helpful. Thank you for watching.